All right, and after that elimination game between the Detroit Innovators and the Cleveland Rift, Cleveland got out to a big start in this game, but Detroit has clawed their way back and is now 60-50. And more importantly, we got news during that break that John Gaffigan's not going to be returning to this one for Cleveland. So it's going to be up to the rest of the team to step up, specifically, of course, Peter Brechting, who has been carrying the team somewhat since Gaffigan went out. But as we talked about throughout this weekend, these are two teams that know each other well. It's going to be interesting to see what that means strategically as they go up against a very good snitch here in this game.
Yeah, definitely a tough break for the Riff with Gaffigan going out. It looks like they have Dawson in the Seeker at Seeker, so he's going to get the first chance at our snitch, Derek Parker, a very good snitch. And yeah, we'll see what exactly the Riff do. The beater pair right now is Rayan Barnes and Austin Howe.
All right, so snitch is released. Brechting does have the ball. As we said, it is Lewis Marklin who has the catch in game one against Dawson. No rush here from Cleveland early. They don't have bludger control, and all the bludgers are staying in the Quaffle game. Big beat there by Banas. A deep pass, though, to Profusik. Gets wrapped by Levi. Can't quite get the shot. No, does get the shot out, but it is knocked down by Pratt.
Yeah, good defensive play by the Innovators. And now they're going to have a no bludgers opportunity, it looks like.
Yeah, and leading that charge is Jack Levi. Stepping up is Melinda Stout. Going to need to make a hit here in the open field. No, it's a pass across over the head of High. Madeline, though, is going to track it down. Now has to get by Profusik. Goes across to Pratt. Brechting gets a big wrap on Pratt, and I believe that is going to be a turnover. Yeah, it's going to be, I believe, Barnes coming to clean that one up.
Yeah, great play by Brechting again around the hoops, doing it on both ends. Saved a goal.
Yeah. And I'm not particularly surprised that both these teams are just focusing in the Quaffle game. As we've seen, a really good snitching performance all weekend long here from Derek Parker. So, it makes a lot of sense to kind of focus on the Quaffle game here, especially with your season life on the line as it is for Cleveland.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Rayan Barnes, a huge block there of a weird beat. That's going to be bludger control to Cleveland. This is a real opportunity here now for Brechting. I think Pratt's about to get cleared out by a beat. Yep, Barnes is going to come back and do that. So now Brechting can walk it up facing one bludger. Howe is going to take this chance to get Macklin out of the game, and it might have been timed perfectly. As it was a pretty nice shot there from Macklin. Zip pass to Profusik, and that's just not to be. We've seen that pass twice now, and it's just not what we need to see from Cleveland. And I think it's the fact that Howe came out of that play that didn't allow them to set up the offense they've been setting up throughout this game.
Yeah, Cleveland not exactly sure what to do against two bludgers. Can't blame them. It's very tough to break down. Banas and Weir, although Cleveland has both bludgers now. But yeah, the single pass is not going to be good enough.
Yeah, Dawson's getting all the time in the world, and it's not even getting one shot here at Parker. So, and then just gets the broom removed. So I'm not sure a Cleveland catch is in the cards here. Ball over to Levi. Steps up. It's a big beat there from Banas. Able to get Barnes out of the play, which gets Levi into the lane. He knots this one up at 60 with a goal.
And there's the mid-range shot again from Jack Levi. Has been so effective all season long for the Innovators. Banas and Weir are pressing high now. Brechting trying to help his beaters out with a swat.
Yeah, clean play by Cleveland to avoid the press. Brechting does get the ball. Oh, spins right by Pratt. Is now in the open field. Levi tries to get a hand on him. Forces the pass, but it's a beautiful cut there by Stop. Cleveland back on top, 70-60, game to 120.
Yeah, that's really good from the Riff. As the snitch catch is not quite there. Love to see Stop running with Brechting, presenting herself as an option, and Brechting getting the dish out in time.
Yeah, I only reacted because Marklin shot in a contested area, and that actually gave Dawson a very brief opportunity to make a decent shot. Madeline has the ball down 10, passes it long in the direction of Levi. Levi has to get by. A beautiful pass across to the cutting Emma Vasquez. She finishes, and we're not up at 70.
Yeah, I believe that's Vasquez's first goal of the day. Love to see her getting on the scoreboard with the assist from Levi. Vasquez, so effective in those spaces around the hoops.
That is now 7 goals from 7 different players from Detroit, which really speaks to the entire mindset that their coaching staff has brought into the season to make sure to develop every single player all the way up and down. and that is really bearing fruit here.
Yeah, really impressive. It's one thing to say that you're going to have even ball movement and every player touching the ball. It's another thing to actually do it and for the scoreboard to show.
Brechting is beat before that attempt. Levi falls on the ball. Good defense there out of Detroit. Brodeur, who's now back in the game, I believe had the beat on that one.
Yeah, and all the goals are assisted. Our spotter, Reed Marchman, is telling us just really impressive from the Innovators.
Howe, though, is out of the quaffle play. And, it's just a tired play all around from Cleveland. Howe went over to help with secret play. He lost bludger control. And then it's a beautiful find over to Jeanette High, who finishes. And that is player number 8 to score in this game for Detroit.
Yeah, that's another assisted goal, a new player. Jeanette High getting on the board. Has a team ever won a game with every single goal being scored by a different player?
Specifically in the set score era. There were some very low-scoring
Maybe.
games back in the day. But and that's just another flighted pass over the head of Brechting. And the wheels are starting to come off here for Cleveland.
Yeah, just not really finding answers in the offensive half. They really need their beaters and fast break opportunities to feel comfortable. That's what the Riff like to do, breaking down a team near the midline and then with a head of steam, finding their passing options in motion. They don't really know what to do when it's more settled.
Nice win there by Howe that allows DeKeel to press. Big hit there out of that's going to be beaten there, but into the lane and finishing. And just like that, Detroit has opened up a 2-goal lead, and Detroit is getting closer and closer.
Yeah, that's Jack Levy with the goal, absorbs the contact, drives through, and finds another mid-range shot. Unfortunately, now a Detroit player has scored twice. It's Levy, and unassisted too. So breaks the streak, but Detroit really finding momentum now.
Boris getting closer and closer here, but it has been such a struggle in this quaffle game. Already won one game for Derek Parker, I believe game 1 of the the Indy Toronto series. Looking to make another one here, and Detroit is only 3 goals away at this point. Cleveland is 5 goals away. Pass behind, back up to the top, bobbled here, bobbled again, and bobbled out of bounds. Vasquez with the ball, looking to run. Vasquez has nobody in front, going to need someone to get on Broom. And she just goes right around Rob Beaton and finishes in the near hoop. That's her second. Detroit has opened a 3-goal lead, and they need 2 more goals to clinch a spot tomorrow.
Love to see it from Emma Vasquez going all the way, just recognizing that all of the Cleveland Chasers were beaten out and off Broom, and taking it right away on the fast break.
Yep. So Cleveland needs an answer here. They're down 3. Probably at this point would need some help from the Seeker game as well, where Kyle Dawson has subbed back in. Stop has the ball. Can't get a pass, though, by Rick Wasser, who knocks it down and falls on it in his own keeper zone. Another fast break opportunity. Brechting's able to swat away a beat, but it's a wide open pass to Jeanette High. She finishes another assisted goal for Detroit, and it is game point, Detroit.
The Innovators just look like they're having so much fun right now on the pitch. Just getting out in transition, not something that we've seen a lot from them, but late in this game too, able to kind of use some of their depth advantages maybe to generate some opportunities in the beater game, and their Chasers seizing on those chances.
Yep. So the call there was a blue card for that Brechting swat that we all watched, but they'll serve no time because of the good goal. So Detroit needs 1. Cleveland would still need 5. Strauss is in the game along with Barnes. But Cleveland continues to, just even that side glance at Seeker keeps messing with them because they need full dedication of their beaters, and it's just that tap beat that kind of sets their offense just completely out of sync. It is all the bludgers now with Cleveland, though. Clementi has the ball coming down. Gets it off to Levi. Strauss does it all by himself. The tap beat up top. And, but it's a long kick there by High. Kick's going to go out to nobody. Not sure if it's going to cross the line. No, Detroit's able to keep possession. Strauss really did everything he could on that play.
Yeah, and only saved by a really smart play from Jeanette High and well executed.
Clementi looking for High. High, all she can do is swat in the direction of the goal. Can't get through the hoop. The game continues. It's Brechting with the ball now. Weir's freely pressing with bludger control. In complete control here. Exchange won there by Strauss to get bludger control. Brechting into the lane. Strauss beats out Vanis. You cannot say that Ben Strauss is doing everything he can to keep the Cleveland Rift season alive right now.
Yeah, those last two plays just making multiple long-range beach, landing both of them, and somehow avoiding the bludgers flying back at him. Just a masterclass in one-on-one exchanges from Ben Strauss.
Yep. 110-80. One more goal needed for Detroit. 4 more for Cleveland. Oh, that was very, very close from Boris, and that would have instantly made it a next goal win scenario.
Oh, I wanted that to happen.
Big one beat there from Weir is going to get bludger control back. Clementi over to, I believe that is Pratt. Pratt goes back to Clementi. Pratt has it again. Just has to knock it down. Ben Strauss is just going to control the ball because what else is Ben Strauss going to do at this point?
Yeah, Ben Strauss keeping the Cleveland Rift alive, although really good play by Rick Wasser there to slow the transition opportunity from the Rift.
Gabe Boris was so close once again, but I think might actually need an injury sub at this point. Going to hobble off under his own power. The only thing left, I think, is for Ben Strauss to come in at Seeker and catch the snitch.
Yeah.
He is going to sub after that sequence. Howe and DeKeel now facing bludger control from Weir. Brechting bringing it down the middle. A wrap here from Pratt, just beat away by Howe. No rush here out of Detroit. Boris still trying. I don't think Detroit's even trying for catcher. Oh, Boris shoots the back again, but to no avail. Howe throws back a long pass across to Profusek. Did it go through? We're going to have a conversation. What an ending to this game right now.
Yeah.
And I think the most important thing about the stoppage might be that it gives Gabe Boris a chance to rest and take a couple more shots here.
Yeah, though it'll also give our snitch Derek Parker, who's now in his 3rd game, a chance to rest as well. Boris is definitely getting closer, and what an ending that would set up. The goal is good. Not good. My apologies. I missed the call there. Madeline now running the other way.
Yep, looking for the opportunity. 2 bludgers. Oh, it's a no bludger situation. It floats it through. Did it hit? No call yet from the refs. And Rick Wasser puts it through. I think Cleveland thought it went through originally. It doesn't, but Rick Wasser will put this away. Detroit stays alive. They will advance to a matchup tomorrow against the Toronto Raiders.
Yeah, and Cleveland really put up a fight towards the end behind Ben Strauss, just throwing bludgers all over the place, and Gabe Boris putting some pressure on the snitch. But ultimately it wasn't enough, especially with the injured John Gaffigan out, not able to generate enough opportunities early in the snitch on pitch period. And the Innovators who came in to the end game down, able to put together a run that really separated themselves.
And it was the story of the whole series, which is they just had the more fluid offense. We talked about all the assists. We talked about the number of people, 8 different people scoring once before anybody on this Detroit Innovators scored twice in that game too. Really a statement and something for them to build on as they're going to go into a huge series tomorrow against the Toronto Raiders to decide who is the 4th seed and the final team to make championships from the North Division. The other series to look forward to tomorrow, the Rochester Whiteout taking on the Minneapolis Monarchs for the division title. Also going to be excellent game. This is going to be great Quidditch. Just a quick broadcasting update. I think you guys probably said earlier in the pregame. Maybe not. Okay. The Indianapolis Intensity and Toronto Raiders have chosen not to play their Game 3. It had no implications, gameplay implications for their seeding or anything, given the depth issues of both teams. I know that these 2 teams are considering a similar situation. We will get you the final word. We'll probably put you on a splash screen for a few minutes, but if we do get word that game won't be playing, we'll announce it before signing off for the day. Either way, do not miss tomorrow's action. We have 2 absolutely incredible, exciting series to watch, and I'm looking forward to them.
Me too.
Awesome. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in the MLQ Network. For Ethan Sturm, Jack McGovern, Reed Marchman, and Nick Jablonski, thanks for watching. Hello and welcome to Game 3 of our series between the Cleveland Rift and the Detroit Innovators. Detroit has taken 2 and has clinched a spot in tomorrow's fourth place match against the Toronto Raiders. But Cleveland looking to get their first win of the season before they sign off for the 2022 year. And, you know, for a young team, this Cleveland team, I think a lot to be proud of, especially the way they've played in these last 2 games. The results not going their way, but definitely some bad breaks along the way, some important injuries, and a 50-50 snitch grab that didn't go their way. But I think a lot to take out of it, and I'm going to be interested to see how they play here today.
Yeah, I mean, ahead of the matches today, we did get to talk to Gabe Boris a little bit, and Gabe was echoing how important it was to get these minutes on these young players for a Cleveland squad that's just trying to get any sort of momentum on their season. I know that they had a lot of promise, especially after that Rochester series that surprised a lot of people and perhaps gave them a little bit of hope coming in. But now with their season at a close on their final game, their walk-off game, if you will, I'm looking here for these players to really just have a lot of fun. I mean, these players care about each other. They enjoy playing the game and with the people that they're doing it with. And so, like, if they can go out here, have a great time, maybe even a good showing, perhaps, you know, that's the stepping off point going into next season.
Well, I'll tell you who looks like they're about to have fun. Ben Strauss, who is starting in the white headband.
Yeah.
And looks like he's going to run brims up. Ben Strauss is an athlete all around. We've seen
Yeah.
him play every position on the pitch. There's been seasons where he's largely played in the quaffle game for Cleveland. Of course, his strength is in the beating game, but going to be fun. Looks like he's going to be running off against Kagan Madeline to get things started here. And it is going to be won by Strauss. Strauss uncorks from midfield. Can't get it to go.
Okay, that's exactly what we were looking for. I mean, this is that game for Cleveland and Detroit. It is going to be a little more for fun. We're not going to see the same kind of methodical gameplay. I think it's going to be a lot of 50-50 plays.
Yep. So bringing the ball down is Jack Levi. He's got Madeline Vasquez and Jeanette High on the pitch with him, and the beating pair of Weir and Banis. They've been coming in for Sue and Brodeur all day, but they're going to get the start here. An exchange with Dawson there. He's going to allow the deep pass to Madeline, who's just going to reset it to Levi. And, of course, for Detroit, I mean, you mentioned kind of the easing it back, but, I mean, reps matter, and this team has big game tomorrow, and I think every rep is going to help them. Levi in the lane, hits the mid-range shot from just outside the keeper zone. Nice to see him opening up the shooting arm a little bit. Didn't see a ton of that throughout the first 2 games, but gets one to go there.
Yeah, and that's something I've been waiting to talk about. Madeline, before the series, saying Levi's going to surprise a lot of people with his shooting ability, and that's really the first time we got to see it. A lot of it has been Levi facilitating on a lot of the assists that we've seen. I mean, almost every goal last game for Detroit being assisted, and that's where we saw a lot of Levi. But, yeah, I mean, the shot there, I want to see more of that and see what Coach Madeline was talking about.
Yep. Here Brechting has the ball, bringing it down behind Claire Shuey, who's making her debut on the weekend, alongside Kyle Dawson, who also has a bludger. Big beat there on Weir, is going to clear a lane. Brechting tries to flip one over to Strauss. Strauss comes up with it. High stepping out. It's a high floater. Madeline knocks it up in the air. It's Gaffney who comes down with it, but Emma Vasquez has the block and is looking to go the other way.
A crazy set of plays there for Detroit. 2 straight blocks on the exchange, and they get control of the quaffle. They don't have control of the bludgers yet, but that's going to breathe some energy into this offense now.
Yep. So it's a 2-2 zone now from Cleveland after 2 full games in a hoop zone. Pass goes behind to Levi. Levi already has one this game. He knows he wants to shoot.
It's easy.
Hits it again, 2-0. Jack Levi. And, you know, one of the things is when you talk about shooters, you know, you can be a shooter all day in practice, but when it comes to a real game, sometimes, you know, it's a completely different story. And maybe these are the reps that Levi needs to be more comfortable, because they're going to need him tomorrow against the Raiders if they're hoping to qualify.
Exactly. Tomorrow, you know, if in that game we see a couple shots that fall in for Levi, we might be able to draw it to this moment in a test. Like, the confidence comes from a game like this. So really awesome to see Levi make those steps in this Game 3 that we didn't get to see a lot in Game 2 and 1.
Right. So what happened is Madeline had pushed, I believe, Britson back across the keeper's own line, forcing a turnover. Madeline got the ball on the start, had to shoot right away, had no teammates. I could have reset, but I mean, why not take the shot there? Wasn't able to get it to go. So 20-0 still the score. It is Britson now bringing the ball up on the far side. Got Brechting for help as Vasquez steps up high with the wrap. Bennis also beat out. Shuey takes an exchange with Weir,
The lane.
loses it. Brechting in the lane,
Oh.
knocked down by Levi.
3 straight blocks for this Detroit squad. We're going the other way.
Yep, and it's going to be Madeline end to end. Detroit pouring it on early. First game they've poured it on early. They lead 30-0.
Fast start. One of the fastest we've seen all day from any team
Yep.
in this MLQ North Division Championship. And although the sun is setting, it's just cresting our box here. So the Indianapolis Intensity showing presence on the field, even though perhaps maybe they're on the sidelines.
Long pass to Strauss. He gets around Nathan Feidner,
Okay.
gets around another player, takes a long one, not to be. I feel like that Ben Strauss maybe could just, when he's hitting the lane, take another 5 steps.
Well, he's throwing the quaffle like he's got the bludger, but we've got another drive.
Brechting end to end, a huge difference maker all day for Cleveland, gets them on the board as the beaters scrap in the middle of the field.
Nice. Cleveland getting to a 2-goal deficit versus the 3 they were at before. But yeah, Strauss, I mean, the way he's throwing that quaffle, it feels like he's beating on the pitch. The only word of advice, maybe imagine those opposing chasers as those hoops. He's probably going to be a bit more accurate.
Wow, Shuey almost made a great play for control, and Howe almost followed up with a second one, but it's not to be. Bludger control stays with Detroit. Pass goes back around the back. It's Ethan Ahern who drives the lane, passes back and forth with Vasquez. Too slow, though, and Howe's able to clean it up.
Ahern getting some of the first action all day, and this is what we're looking for in this game 3, with a lot less on the line for both of these teams. I think just getting minutes and preventing injuries. You want to make sure you're not out for too long and getting fatigued.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned throughout the broadcast, a lot of these players play together in the Ohio Apollos. I mean, these aren't teams that, they're a lot of competitive integrity. These teams really wanted to beat each other the last 2 games, but they're not out to injure each other now in a game 3.
Correct. And that's evident to the cards that we saw as well. A lot of them were much more finite gameplay cards rather than those aggressive ones. And it seems like they play the game right.
Britson driving the lane, passes over.
Whoa!
That is a shot from Melissa Gaborik. I believe that's her first possession of the day, and she's got a goal to her name.
Where has she been all day, this Cleveland squad? Now we're getting scores and we're going back the other way.
Britson's got time. A long beat is no good. Britson has nobody in front. Clementi makes a big hit, and the shot is no good. Britson goes down hard. We're going to have a stoppage here. But, yeah, a nice sequence of play here from Cleveland from some of their depth.
I love it. I think that Cleveland is happy to see that as well. They want to get that ball in hands that may not have as many opportunities in some of those other games. And, I mean, they're delivering right there. We saw almost 2 full games going by with only 2 players scoring. Melinda Stout being the third scorer and only 3 scores on the entire day for Cleveland. Now we get some new faces and a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. It's been a fun one, and it's been a fun day, and we've got more fun Quidditch coming tomorrow. The first series is the series to decide the last team coming out of the North. Indianapolis is locked into the 3, and it's going to be this Detroit team playing Toronto for the 4. And I think, we've seen so many good things from Detroit that I think it's going to be a real test for Toronto. The I guess we'll call it the east half of the division has yet to log a win in this tournament. And here you have Toronto, who is technically the higher seeded team, but coming out of the east half is going to have to make a statement. Meanwhile, the championship game, Minneapolis-Rochester game, so much talent. It's going to be a really, really fun one to watch.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking at here for Detroit. How is Detroit going to match up against Toronto? We saw some new looks from Toronto today. They wanted to be a little more fluid in their defense and not show a dominant one way or the other. And Detroit, they feel like the team that is most capable of attacking something like that, that is going to take a little more of a cerebral approach.
Robert Butler and Jack Sue now in the game together. Butler takes an exchange with Howe. Sue's trying to clean up under control to no avail. So Howe's going to get a high beat, and that's going to allow – no, it's not going to be a press time. Clemente's now got the ball. He's looking to hit the lane, pulls it back.
Feidner getting beat on the play. Now tagging back up. Detroit just looking to use their bludger control to get some sort of opening.
Here is that opportunity. I think that is a drive by Feidner. I saw a beat hit the back. Might have been friendly fire. Either way, the goal is called good by head ref Chris Lecomte, and it is a 4-2 lead for Detroit.
A very coordinated play here, Detroit using those beaters, compressing that Cleveland defense, and opening up that lane on the outside hoop for Feidner to just take a a walk through dunk, essentially.
Yep. So Cleveland bring it down. Now they do have Butcher control. Jennifer Connard, I believe, playing her first minutes of the weekend, gets wrapped up by Sue. Sue takes the ball off of her. Howe comes back for a tap beat, but that's allowing a press here from Butler and Sue. Somehow Profusik comes up with the ball.
Just bludgers everywhere. The quaffle squirting out in the middle. Oh, yeah.
Jack Sue just covered about 20 yards of ground to get in a position to make that beat unstop.
This is not characteristic of what might have been a Game 3 for Detroit. This is their third hour of gameplay here and acting like they've pretty much just stepped off the bus.
Yeah. Thinagai is now subbed into the game. Good effort in Game 2. Alongside him, Luce Markland playing their first minutes in Chaser. They've been seeking for the team exclusively so far this weekend.
Yeah, caught the first snitch of the day.
A big one, a really big catch.
And in Game 2, not needing the snitch catch nearly as much. Detroit pulling away at the end, but no. It might be more of a look forward into tomorrow what we're looking at.
Yep. Ash Toth, the remaining sub on this Detroit line. That pass goes awry. It is going to be a turnover. Howe just gets accidentally leveled in transition by Rick Wasser. It seemed like a completely incidental situation, but Howe goes down hard, unfortunately. So we'll get another stoppage here. And, Reed, based on what you've seen from this Toronto and this Detroit team, what are you expecting out of that series tomorrow?
Okay. For the side, I feel like Detroit might have the edge in beater play. I think that if they can pressure Toronto and stay fresh, I know they utilize a lot of minutes on those two beater rotations, namely, but if they can stay fresh and stay active against Toronto, I think the speed of their beaters might be the edge. The only thing is, though, if Toronto ever has control of the bludgers, I feel like their quaffle game is just super sound, and they should be able to put the points up. Maybe they're not going to have bludger control for the majority, but whenever they do have control, I think they're going to put up a lot of points.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Detroit's learned the lesson, which is when you face these Toronto beaters, throwbacks are really your friend.
Yeah.
We saw Ben Peachy execute that so well today. We saw Pat Callanan and Emily Hickmott from Rochester demonstrate that a few weeks back in their series. So, it's going to be a fun one to watch. As we get back to start play here, I'm going to stop bringing the ball down, facing a 4-2 deficit here.
Jennifer Connard shaking off the last defending player from Detroit on their side of the pitch.
Yeah, Rob Beaton comes into the game for the injured Austin Howe. High press here from Robert Butler.
Done a guy on point.
Wins the battle against Connard. Could be a pressing opportunity. Ryan Sue presses very high. Pass goes to nobody. Rick Wasser picks it up, looking to go the other way. Fakes Gabe Boers out of his shoes. Trying to hit the lane. Long pass, looking probably more of a pass to Thinagai, but gets knocked down. Cleveland falls on it.
Yeah, Wasser with a what has looked like a pretty comfortable and characteristic move. Picks up that quaffle arm, makes the move, and like dips the hips around the defender. And if you're not paying attention, if you're ducking your head on the contact, you're going to miss Rick Wasser. So he's using it well.
Yeah, those are some golf swing hips right there. Brechting all the way down the side, tries to block the Sioux beat. Does so, but I think it knocked the ball out of over the out-of-bounds line, so it will be a turnover. Real nice play there by Sioux, who's having a wonderful shift right here for Detroit.
Yeah, to push the golf analogy, it looks like we've hit a rough on the side, but maybe can lay up back into the fairway.
I'm not convinced, based on that statement, that you know the first thing about golf.
I'm pretty sure birds are the
good ones or the bad
good
ones? Okay, good.
Yeah.
You good.
Yeah.
You're on the right path.
All right, good.
Rick Wasser bringing the ball up here. In behind Sue, takes a long shot. It's not the longest shot of the game, not even nearly.
No.
Ben Strauss has got that one on lock. I'm not sure that record's being broken over the course of the rest of the season.
Yeah, he was 2 steps inside of the half pitch, so we'll be keeping track of that throughout the game. But no scores on any of them thus far.
No.
Everything has been close.
It was
quarters.
only Jack Levi who hit one.
That's true. Even then, much more of a push pass
Yeah, for sure.
or push shot.
So Brechting bringing it down, one of the 2 leading scorers for the Riff so far this weekend as we approach the 10-minute mark in play.
Maureen Rhines on the close side as the free chaser.
And with bludger control in the hands of Cleveland.
Yeah, they're working together. They're staying close to ensure that they can always come away with a bludger at least, and that works out perfectly. Sorry to cover the play-by-play, but I mean the play develops so quick.
It's okay. You know, Detroit and Cleveland are working on some things, and you're working on some color commentating things.
Oh, I see. I had a good point to make. I mean, that's a new look from the Cleveland squad. Usually we've seen the pincer maneuver coming from a lot of these teams where you've got one beater on the front side and one on the back. Cleveland, in fact, offering much more of a frontal aggression.
There you go. It's Vasquez on the far side. Gets over to Dunigai, and Dunigai, the mid-range shot, gets it to go.
Yeah, big play. I mean, it's I've been really impressed from Dunigai with the ability to move. Oh, sorry, no, that was Srinav.
Yeah, that's on me. That was Srinivasan who finished that one off.
Srinivasan, the ball handling there and the comfortability to make the move, step further into the play, knowing that the beater didn't have an alley. That's a composed move from a very new player.
Yeah, the sun, I think, is high enough in the air that's not affecting the teams. It's affecting us a little bit. Profusix gets a really nice path there from Brechting. Can't quite get it to go, though. Good, strong hoops defense from Detroit, and now Madeline's looking to go the other way. Only one bludger back. It's in the hand of Barnes. Barnes tries to make a block on Banas. Banas gets the loose ball, which means no bludgers back for Cleveland, but Madeline is being hung all over by Staub. Can't get a chance. Staub gets beat out, finds a long pass, but it's not going to go. Back up the top to Madeline.
Yeah, Srinivasan not able to convert on the play. The alley-oop looked really clean, but it's the defense from Cleveland that's able to capitalize, even without the bludgers.
Yeah, that's an exchange on the side there. It's going to give Madeline a lane. Madeline goes over to Vasquez. Vasquez steps up. Srinivasan passes it over to High. Not quite clean. Loose ball on the ground. Madeline now picks it up. There is an advantage being held, and I think it is going to be called now that the play is slowed down.
Yeah, Cleveland, the chasing – or the quaffle play has been very solid defensively, but it's the beaters that are getting just run around the pitch right now from Detroit. And, I mean, when you're in a desperation moment and you're a beater who just recovered a bludger 35 yards off pitch and you're coming back and you see that quaffle player starting to make that drive, you feel like you feel pressured to make that long beat. And the second that misses, it's just heart-wrenching because you know you got 40 more yards to go track it down the other way.
Yeah, and, you know, neither of these teams have run particularly deep beater lines.
Yeah.
Cleveland's obviously extended their beater depth a little bit in this game, but I think 3 games in, you're definitely starting to see the wear of that fact.
Well, when Ben Strauss is chasing like this, you're losing a lot of the legs on your team. But, I mean, these minutes, like we said, are important. This is going to help them develop going forward in the future, and these are actual, like, game-time minutes.
Srinivasan across to Vasquez. Great ball movement off the power play. They score another goal there for Detroit. It's 6-3 in favor of the Innovators.
With the exception of Indianapolis in their second game against Toronto, at least towards the end, Detroit has been the most impressive half-court offense we've seen. Passes constantly, everything getting assisted. I love it.
Yeah, and it's everybody contributing too. Brechting tried to get all the way there, but Srinivasan says no right at the hoop. Now it's Madeline again coming the other way in transition. Barnes tries to block again.
The beater play.
And it's a floater there from Madeline. Doesn't go.
Ooh, the moves.
Srinivasan over the top to Madeline, and that one
That's
is
it.
too easy. More great ball movement from Detroit. They are up 7-3, and once again they have 5 goal scorers.
Yeah, Cleveland had a very unfortunate trade with the bludgers at the beginning of that and spent the rest of the time recovering, and they actually recovered really well. But it was the play from Detroit, like all of their players, the ball movement, keeping the beaters guessing, and the moves from Srinivasan right there behind the hoops where it seems like they love it most, making it all the difference, dodging that bludger and getting the pass off.
Yeah, timeout there from Cleveland here to talk things over, and I think a lot of it is is going to need to be, offensive adjustments. How exactly can Cleveland find more goals? Of course, the train has picked our exact moment to send it to the booth to be its very loudest. But what do you think Cleveland can do? You mentioned, they were doing that pincer movement. They tried something a little different a couple possessions ago. How do you think they can get a few more goals on the board here?
Well, I would like to approach it maybe from a standpoint that they have a half-court offense that they want to run. They game planned for this weekend. They knew they were going to play Detroit. And whenever talking to Boris before this, going through some of the ideas that they had for this game, I felt like they were looking for a more coordinated gameplay, not this run and gun that we've seen from the likes of, Gaffigan and Bretching. The two of them just lighting up the scoreboard themselves. I don't think that's what they were looking for. So instead, I think that with evidence, at least early on, we've seen a lot more ball movement. We've seen a little more fluidity, and I want them to just stick to that. I think that is the way for their future to develop, and without needing a win right now, you can try some new things. Perhaps not the half-court shot Ben Strauss special, though.
So we're about to get started here again.
And as you saw on the camera, that sun. These teams, yes, there will be a winner and a loser, but I think, Ethan, we are the losers here staring into this sunlight. My retina's probably taking the biggest beating on the day.
Yeah, Ben Strauss in the game with the bludger, goes around Vasquez here, flips one over to Gaffney. Gaffney tries a jump shot. Madeline comes right around the hoop with a nice block.
Okay. A little more ball movement. We're seeing a little more intentionality there. I want them to link up with their beaters, use that opportunity. I think that if Detroit were perhaps playing with a little more urgency, they don't have to right now. There was a no bludger opportunity. A bad trade for Cleveland with a turnover of the quaffle. That's a recipe for disaster, older than time.
Yeah, and, Strauss could also take a couple more steps in the lane. Hey, ooh. Jack Levi, have a day. That's a hat trick. That is a mid-range shot. Detroit kind of getting it in all different directions in the offensive side.
We love it. That's what we were looking for. Levi, showing up, this is what we were waiting for. And coming in tomorrow, I think that he's going to sleep well tonight knowing that those shots are falling. And tomorrow we might see a little more confidence in Game 1.
Keel's bringing the bludger down alongside Dawson. It is bludger control to Cleveland. Boris has the ball up top, goes over to Strauss. Strauss gets met by Clemente and goes back to Boris. And now wants the ball back, calling for it back. But the pass can't get over the arms of Clemente.
And Cleveland almost coming away with bludger control. They're not quite able to. It was a pretty spectacular play from Ryan Sue, on the defensive end to maintain bludger control. And it's the errant passes of Cleveland that are creating the turnovers.
Yeah, this Sue-Butler combination, both from that Michigan program. And, we've seen how well Sue's played with Brodeur, but also playing really well here with Butler. Possibly something he can go back to now in the next game. This is going to be Pratt driving the lane. Shot goes high. It is picked up by Levi. He's not going to be hesitant to shoot here, that's for sure.
Yeah, and if they can walk them down with the bludgers, I think that plays to their advantage. Now we're open for it. The contact is made, though. A great defensive effort there.
Yep, and cleaned up by Dawson. Loose ball picked up by Boris. Yeah, you're right. Britson really kind of messed that whole play up from the Detroit side by getting that very, very clean wrap on Clemente.
Yeah, I like it. Game 3, nothing on the line, but still out here. You could tell they love the game. They want to play it right. The physicality is a part of it in not shying away at all.
Yep. 8-3 the score. Boris bringing the ball down here. Got Britson and Gaffney on the wings.
Strauss.
Pass all the way down to Strauss.
All right, this is his shot territory.
Strauss gets by Ahern. A no-look
oh my God.
No-look shot pass, who's to say? Either way, it's knocked down by Pratt.
I swear, that ball was going in. By the wind at his back, that ball was going in, and it was blocked.
It's not Strauss's fault. He's not used to people being able to touch his thrown balls without it being knocked out.
Yeah.
Levi has the ball, looking to shoot. gets to the 6-foot line. Oh, that's a beautiful pass to Ahern.
Oh, but it's goaltend. It's goaltend.
And Ahern gets
Yeah.
it through on the goaltend by Boris. Nice find there from Levi. And that's when you start shooting, it starts opening up those passing lanes because teams can't cheat off of you not shooting.
Yeah. Okay, now, Ethan, over under 2.5 seconds that Strauss has the ball before the shot.
I think he'll be patient and pass it back to his teammate after getting a pass.
Okay. I'll take the under. Look at him. He's already going to the backside of the hoops. I think you're done.
DeKeel loses an exchange there with Butler. Brechting gets pressed. A nice pass back to Britson. Britson's shot pass gets knocked down by Clementi, and I believe it is Levi, possibly Ahern, falling on it.
That was my favorite play Cleveland's done so far. A quick give and go to get the beaters out of the play for Detroit, and an option potentially to get blender control as well. That was the best play I've seen. Just couldn't quite get the pass.
Sue's going to knock out Dawson there.
Sue is playing so well.
Flying down the field. Clementi dishes it over to Ahern. Ahern behind to Pratt. Pratt
Oh my
back
gosh.
to Levi. Levi back to Ahern.
More.
Clementi, Pratt,
More passes!
and finally Brechting says no.
Oh. We were going for double digits at that point, and I was here for it.
It's that old playground game where you have to keep the ball cleanly passing without it ever touching the ground.
Oh, man. I mean, there's a reason why you do it. It's good. It helps. And if you can run the offensive players, so.
It's true. Tell Harry Greenhouse we've got phys ed teaching cover now. We know how to teach.
Yes. Yeah, he's beaming, I'm sure. 90-30. Detroit here.
Yeah.
60-point lead. I think Detroit's impressed me a lot with their willingness to pass. I know that it was going to be a big focus going in because that is the team that they want to be. And with a game like this, you can really let things go. But defensively, I'm impressed with how well Detroit is reading so many of these passes. Rick Wasser doing that, for ages. It feels like, and feels comfortable there. I think that is bleeding into the rest of the team too.
Yeah. And Pratt, the one who went down there on that stoppage, walking off under their own power, smiling on the way off the pitch, seems to be doing just fine. So that's good to see. Like we saw, we don't want any injuries from this game.
Correct.
Team. I think Ahern might have immediately stepped over the line.
Oh,
it's going to be a turnover. It's all right. The inbounding procedures, they're hard. We get it.
I mean, better to learn here in a Game 3 that doesn't matter.
Yep.
But Pratt, talking about them, the second game, they were amazing. Defensively looking incredibly good. Offensively picking up 2 goals as well. Really awesome growth that we've seen from this squad throughout the day even.
Yep. And so 9-3, the score here, bringing the ball down, is Brechting. We're almost at the 19-minute mark here in Game 3.
2.5 seconds, Ethan. That's what I'm looking at.
Sue just cheated all the way off the field to knock out Strauss, so you're not going to get that chance.
Yeah, Britson now with the ball.
Yeah, dodges a beat from Sue there, though. But his teammates there was Butler waiting for him.
Oh,
Britson, a great look there. But Brechting never saw Butler come. End to end and goes through Britson, puts it away, 100-30.